How do we start this again?
I think we just kind of awkwardly don't know how to start, and then we just start.
All right. Well, it's your turn, so.
Like, what's up, buddy?
Taylor and Alan talking about movies. They may be best friends, but they always disagree. Taylor and Alan, I seen that.
Okay, the movie I have selected.
Don't tell me.
We've talked about it a little bit. Well, I'm not. I'm just telling you.
Okay, because you almost did that another time.
All-time favorite movie.
It's your all-time favorite movie?
My all-time favorite movie.
Sandlot?
Hands down, will never be... Okay, yeah, you got it.
You told me that on the last episode that was your favorite movie.
Well, I was going to say,
what a
if you
terrible clue.
You may recall. Oh, that wasn't a clue. I'm just telling you. I hadn't even got to the clues yet.
It rhymes with man plot.
Exactly. Which is my second favorite movie. So, Sandlot. I love Sandlot because, one, obviously it's about baseball.
That is true.
And two, it's...
Got James Earl Jones.
It's realistic baseball as a kid. And this is what kids would do. So, it's pretty relatable, I would say.
When you say it's what kids would do, in what aspect, other than just play baseball?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, it's not about, like, a major league team. It's not about anything other than kids playing baseball, which any kid can go out and play baseball with a group of people. So, in that aspect, it is something that I did. Now, I didn't have a full team. I had me and my brother. And then there was, like, a couple other kids. I always lived in a very small town. So, I always wanted to, like, build a full team.
I don't know if Bakersfield is a small town. There's, like...
Well, no.
600,000 people
like
there now.
Taft and Derby Acres. Derby Acres had 200 people.
Did it really? It isn't that small.
Yeah, that's the population. Well, that's what it was like 10 years ago. It's probably smaller now. People move out and they never come back.
I remember when we were hanging out when we were kids. We used to go to that homeschool Friday baseball thing with Danny.
Oh, that was real fun for me too.
That was a good time. The biggest thing I remember about that was your dad driving us. What's that?
I was gonna say, was it Dante farting while he ran?
No,
because I thought about that today because I watched his son run. I was like, just like his father.
It was your dad driving us, but we would have to listen to talk radio.
Rush Limbaugh?
Well,
Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity?
It wasn't even that. It was about computer repair.
Oh, yeah, Kim Commando.
Is that who? I don't know.
Yeah.
It was.
He would.
It was.
Those were his favorite afternoons. It was Kim Commando, and then there was one about like gardening and lawn care. It was Dan Monty. He's a local guy, but he had his own thing. He was the garden guru or something like that.
Fancy. It was insufferable. It was like a 20-minute drive. It felt like it took 20 years. And it was.
It did feel like a very long drive.
Plus, your dad was pretty slow driving.
Well, so that's why. Yeah.
It
probably was 20 years.
That was
fun, though.
Yeah, it was good times. Danny was a funny guy.
Where I honed my craft.
Yeah? How far did that get you?
Got to where I am today.
That's true.
Which is not playing baseball.
About 20 feet away from your house that you grew up in.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on this movie?
I've seen it a couple times. It's not one that I remember watching a ton.
Right.
But it was good. It wasn't great.
See, this movie I would say is my Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Where I just watched it over and over, like multiple times a day. It was just so cool to me. And even now, it's still extremely watchable.
Is it?
Like, it holds up. You can tell it's... The writing, I feel like the writing is real good. So once you get older, it doesn't feel dumb or too childish.
Yeah.
I think it holds up.
I do remember when I watched it as a kid thinking that it must have taken them so long to film the movie because the actor grew up at the end. I was like, man, they waited 20 years to finally put this movie out. Yeah, I wasn't a smart kid.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, so the guy who plays Benny as an adult, he's on the Dodgers. The scene you're talking about? Yeah, for the longest time, I thought that was Mike Piazza.
Oh,
you remember Mike Piazza?
The actor doesn't actually play for the Dodgers.
No.
Gotcha.
Just in that scene, the guy that they got.
Yeah, the Converse
kid. They had used Mike Piazza for that scene because one, he had like the real thick mustache like Piazza did in the 90s. He kind of looked like him to me, and then he also played on the Dodgers. So I was like, well, it's convenient. He's already on the Dodgers.
Do you think that mustache is going to make a comeback?
Has it not already? I'm working on it.
Are you? I didn't think you could grow a mustache.
I've been trying since I was a kid.
Yeah.
It hasn't come yet, but I'm working on it. There's still a few guys with that kind of mustache.
Who?
None that I can name right now, but they're out there.
There's
I'd say probably mostly barbers.
Barbers?
I feel like a lot of barbers still have that mustache.
That's oddly specific, and I don't think very accurate.
Yeah. What does your barber look like?
Tie.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. The point is, I have no point.
There's a few things I remember about this movie rather vividly. The sexual harassment at the swimming pool.
Absolutely.
A good way to get a wife.
In its purest form.
Yeah.
Wendy Peppercorn.
That girl was definitely like 8 years older than that kid, right?
Oh, for sure.
The Babe Ruth.
That was always
signed baseball.
Oh yeah, Baby Ruth.
What do they call them? They all they're naming off all the names, but they all say one together. Was it the Great Bambino?
The Grand Bambino.
The Grand Bambino. The Converse.
He had many names. No, it was the PF Flyers.
Oh, that's right. And they make you super fast. You can outrun dogs.
They can make you run faster, jump higher.
Yeah.
And it worked.
It's true, it did. And pretty much the whole movie, or like the second half, was just about getting back that baseball, right? Getting it back from the dog.
Yeah,
it's
that's the main point is the boy who does not know much about baseball.
Yeah, the main character.
Thought he would save the day when they lost their baseball, and he grabbed a ball from his stepfather's trophy room, and it was the ball signed by Babe Ruth, who he had no idea who it was. Next kid comes up, hits it over the fence. Everyone's excited until they realize it's signed by Babe Ruth, and they have to get it back. Except for on the other side of the fence is the Beast, this legendary junkyard dog who eats kids and never lets anyone get anything back.
Now, if your kids, if Braden stole your signed Babe Ruth baseball and lost it,
yes,
how long would you have to go to prison for?
Well, here's the deal. It depends on if it turns out like it does in the movie. Do you remember how it turns out?
He got like a full set, or not a full set, like a ball that was signed by everyone on the team or something like that?
By the full team, including Babe Ruth. So, obviously I'd probably be upset, but that ball is definitely much better. So,
is it better to have a ball signed by the whole team than just one person?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Well,
I mean, I guess that's a collector's opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Because,
maybe not for others.
If you get a ball that's signed by someone you really like and someone you really hate.
Well, are we talking about, the value of the ball? Or just... I mean, if I only liked one player on a team and I hated everyone else, then yeah, I probably wouldn't care for it as much. But, I mean, it's like the 1927 Yankees. It's got all the famous Yankees.
All of them? Derek Jeter?
Well, a lot of
Alex Rodriguez?
does have Alex Rodriguez
Does it?
and Roger Clemens. No, I believe it had like Babe Ruth, Yogi Berra, Joe DiMaggio, a few others. I don't remember them all. Whoever's on the team at that time, because turns out the guy who they hit the ball into the yard, he was also a baseball player during that time, and was friends with all these guys. But he had to stop playing because he went blind.
Now, this is going to sound racist. But
Go on.
I didn't think black people played baseball with Babe Ruth.
You know, now that I think about it, I wonder how that came to be. Because, I mean, Jackie Robinson was the first black player to play. And that was in 1942.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Did he play, or did he just know them?
No, he played, and his story was that he was a great hitter. He would have been better than Babe Ruth had he played out a full career, but he liked to crowd the strike zone, and he took a fastball to the head and knocked his lights out.
Now, this is going to sound racist, but do you think he was playing in whiteface the whole time?
That's the only logical explanation.
I think so, right? Like, because James Earl Jones is definitely black.
As far as I can tell.
Although, not...
Except that time...
Not in Star Wars.
Vader.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he was white for Star Wars.
But every other time.
Yeah,
although,
that's
I guess he was...
I never thought of.
He was yellow in The Lion King, or orange.
That's true. So he's actually a whole array of colors.
Yeah, he's like...
I don't even really know what his natural color is.
What's that girl from Guardians of the Galaxy? Zoe...
Deschanel?
Yep, that one.
Yeah.
She's in Avatar,
Guardians
of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Zoe Saldana?
Yeah. She's green, blue, and black. 3 different movies. That's basically James Earl Jones.
Yeah, true. She is the female James Earl Jones of our time.
So, this movie has lost all credibility, basically, right?
I'm going to have to do some research, because that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe he never says that he played in the major leagues. He could have played in the Negro leagues. I don't know. I'm going to have to fact check this movie.
All right, let me look.
Because it will become my most hated movie of all time if I can't get an answer. Thank you for that. Made me hate this movie.
What was his name in the movie?
His name was Myrtle. His last name was Mr. Myrtle. I don't remember his first name.
Mr. Myrtle?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, let's see. Sandlot Wiki. Mr. Myrtle is a former professional baseball player. He's the owner of Hercules, the Beast, and Goliath, the Great Fear. Mr. Myrtle is played by James Earl Jones. Mr. Myrtle was younger, was a professional baseball player in times of Babe Ruth, and he was a friend of Ruth himself. He was a good player until his career ended by a stray pitch, hit his eye, and blinded him. I found an article about the Negro Leagues, but it's pretty long.
Which is what this podcast is about.
It's pretty long. I don't really... I feel like this answer should be easier.
I will find an answer and I will report on a future podcast.
All right. We'll come back to this at some point. Or we'll just forget about it completely. But here, let's ask Reddit. Maybe they can answer.
Okay, I got an answer here.
Oh.
Well.
Oh.
So it says,
yeah.
In the movie, James Earl Jones claims to have played with Babe Ruth.
He's a liar.
How could he have played with Ruth? What?
I said he's a liar.
If Ruth retired in 1935 and the first black player in the Major League, Jackie Robinson, did not play until 1947, it says he might not have played in the Major League, but all black teams did play the white all-star teams during the early 20th century. So that could be what has happened.
Hmm.
Either way, it would have been in the Negro Leagues.
Gotcha. I feel like they sure glossed over that.
Yeah, that's true. I never really thought about it. This whole movie's ruined.
I wonder if they do talk about it and you just don't remember.
Oh, no, they don't.
Are you sure?
Trust me. Oh, yes.
All right, well, this movie's terrible now. You're welcome.
Well, I'm going to bed. This was a fun podcast, but I'm retiring. I have to go rethink a lot of things. I based my whole life around this movie.
Yeah?
Assuming that Mr. Mortal would not lie.
To a bunch of kids?
Or me.
So, have you watched this with your kids?
No, not yet. I'm afraid they won't be interested. I have to wait until they show some interest for them to like it, I think.
Yeah.
The day is coming soon. Probably another year or so.
I don't know. I feel like Brayden is a soccer player. He's going to hate baseball and just want to play soccer all the time.
That makes me upset.
That's why I said it.
Oh, I know. Yeah, well, I'm really going to hope you're wrong.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give this
50,000.
movie? 50,000?
Absolutely.
That's pretty high.
If anything, maybe now it's like 40,000.
Yeah.
Lost 10,000 points.
But
it's still way off the scale.
I would give this a 6, 7.
What?
6 or 7, yeah.
I give it a hard 10.
Now, if it were on a scale of 1 to 10, me watching it by choice, like me sitting down and watching it, it's like a 1.
Yes.
I'm not gonna.
Oof.
I'm not gonna.
That's rough.
Yeah, I can't.
It's gonna be 10 every time.
I can't see myself like going out of my way to watch this. But
that's disappointing.
To recommend to someone who hadn't seen it, it's probably like a 6 or 7.
That is pretty low. Not a fan. It's a great movie. 10's all around for me.
You say 10's all around?
10's all around.
Well, let's wrap this one up, and we'll be back next week with a better movie.
Oh, man. Wrapping it up.